In this episode of the Rising Tide podcast, we dive even deeper with Dr. Ali Kaki into the details of his 2021 peer-reviewed publication entitled Loose Regulatory Standards Portend a New Era of Imprecision Oncology. Dr. Kaki is a clinical assistant professor of oncology at Stanford University School of Medicine and is a hematologist-oncologist with board certification in oncology, hematology, and internal medicine. In our previous episode with Dr. Kaki, we discussed the promises and pitfalls of precision medicine and what happens when what gets approved for therapy is broader than the patients assessed in clinical trials, and what happens when the approval encompasses patients with no benefit to targeted treatment. With the growing appeal of targeted therapy, the rapid acceleration of its application to oncology runs the risk of uncoupling medicine from scientific evidence. This particular episode is geared toward anyone seeking detailed, in-depth perspectives about oncology precision therapies. Following the hype rather than the evidence in any treatment can have dire consequences for patients and the entire healthcare ecosystem. We ask what needs to change so that our excitement for precision medicine does not lead to patient care decisions lacking sufficient scientific support. Though precision medicine is advancing cancer care, the progress is gradual rather than meteoric.
There's a lot of hype and excitement, and while progress is being made, I think that the progress in precision oncology is likely much more incremental than what is perceived. There's a study from a few years ago with Vinay Prasad and colleagues in JAMA Oncology where they estimate that only about 8% of patients with cancer were eligible for a genome-targeted therapy in 2018. And while this was up from 5% in 2006, this isn't growing at an exponential rate. It's growing quite incrementally.
Although less than 10% of patients with cancer are eligible for targeted therapy, a number that sounds small, the repercussions when precision is removed from the approval of treatments are significant.
The role of the FDA is to approve medications that have been shown to be safe and effective. Unfortunately, with these broad approvals, we raise questions about how confident are we about how effective these medications are for those who have not been included in the study or have not been shown to have benefit in the study. In both these cases, the broad drug approvals contradicted the principles of precision medicine, where the idea is to identify the specific group that would benefit from a therapy and only treat those patients. I thought that the specific place where this really missed the mark is including, cancers like breast and prostate cancer, which are much more common but have not been shown to have much benefit with immune checkpoint inhibitors. Patients can be exposed rather unnecessarily to toxicity and to cost without little known benefit, or with actually trials that have shown that they don't benefit. To assume that you're going to have some benefit that doesn't even exist in a completely different cancer is the second leap of faith.
Haste makes waste. And with poorly designed clinical trials lacking stratified randomization that includes appropriate control arms, patients bear the brunt of the uncertainty in outcomes that can develop. At the very least, we can openly converse about such uncertainty. Key improvements to trial design, however, would be even better.
The history of medicine will tell you that most things we do are wrong. And so that's why we have to use empirical evidence to prove ourselves that they're right. We have many examples in oncology of promising biomarkers that have gone astray. Unfortunately, I think to do things correctly, things have to be done slowly and iteratively. Tools you could use to sort of try to alleviate some of that uncertainty or make it a bit more, you can feel a bit more confident in your conclusions is using things like stratification. So making sure you have well-represented populations of the subtypes that you are most interested in. Randomization is key, and something I think that's being lost, especially in precision medicine, is without randomized clinical trials, we have a lot more uncertainty of the benefit to patients. So use stratification with randomization to help make sure you get all the populations of interest.
We need to confront this new uncertainty in clinical science if we stay on this current trajectory of imprecision in oncology.
At the end of the day, you probably can't include every single cancer. So there has to be some, and I think I mentioned this last time, there has to be some decision by patients, oncologists, providers, insurance companies, the society that if we want to do tumor agnostic approvals, we are comfortable with the uncertainty that accompanies those approvals.
Please follow the links to freely listen or view the full podcast presented by the Center for Genomic Interpretation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that works with precision medicine stakeholders to help them realize value and improve patient safety in clinical genetics, genomics, and precision medicine.